Hi, welcome to another video on algo trading on Tradetron. In this video, I will talk to you about one strategy that you can use with combined premiums, and I will show you how to use technical indicators on the charts of combined premiums. So if this kind of a strategy interests you, do stick around as we will understand how to build the strategy on TradingView. We will have a look at what the chart looks like. We will understand our entry exit indicators, and based on that we will then use that same understanding and knowledge and concepts in order to build our strategy on the Tradetron strategy builder. So without any further ado, let's directly get into it. Before we go ahead and build this strategy, let's first understand what is happening out here, what you're seeing on the chart, right? So I am currently looking at two different instruments. So just as an example, I'm looking at the 25,000 call and the 25,000 put for the current week expiry, right? So these are the two ATM instruments that I'm looking at. Now, what I will do in my strategy is that I will look at the ATM instruments of the Nifty 50 expiry, and in this instruments, I will now sum up the call and the put premium of both the instruments. So as an example, since I have, let's say, the 25,000 call, let's say it's trading at 100 rupees, and I have the 25,000 put, which is both are the ATM instruments, and the put is trading at 125 rupees. I will sum up both of these instruments in order to get one particular value. So let's say the close is 100 of a call, the close is 125 of a put, 100 plus 125 will be 225. That will be the combined close. Now I will do the same thing for all the different candles that I have. So for my open, high, low and close, all of the different candles, I will combine the call premiums and the put premiums and get one particular premium chart that I have. So what you see out here, this is basically the premium chart, the combined premium chart of the ATM instruments. Now when we are looking at this particular chart, what you see as the candlesticks are giving you the combined values. Now on these combined values, the newly formed candlesticks of, let's say, 225 and so on, 250 and whatever, all of these combined premiums, we are now adding our technical indicator, which is Supertrend. Now I've taken an example of Supertrend, but you can choose your favorite technical indicator, and based on this technical indicator, add an overlay of, let's say, whatever technical indicator you like on this particular chart. Now what we are looking at is that whenever this particular chart is giving a signal which is a bullish signal based on the technical indicator, we are going to have a long straddle, and whenever it is giving a bearish signal based on the technical indicator, we will have a short straddle, right? So out here I can see that to take an example, out here my close values of these particular candles are basically more than my super trend values. So in that case, my super trend will be green since my super trend is below the close of that particular candles. So this will basically be marked as a bullish instance, right? And at the same time, when you look at something like this, we will mark these instances where the close is less than the super trend value. In that case, we will basically look at this as a bearish signal. So we will take a short trade out here. Now in this particular strategy, we will try to replicate the same thing on Tradetron and build this kind of a logic. Now, of course, out here you can see that I have hard coded the instruments, which is 25,000 call and 25,000 put. But on Tradetron, I'm going to use the ATM strikes. So whichever strike is ATM, let's say if 25,100 is ATM, it will look at the combined premium of this 25,100 instrument and so on. So let's now jump to Tradetron and see how I have built this strategy. Before we build the strategy, you can duplicate the same strategy using the link in the description. You will see a page when you click on the link somewhat like this. Using this page, you will be able to see a button called duplicate, and you duplicate the same strategy with which you can now choose to have different values of the super trend. You can have different numbers, you can modify the strategy, you can backtest it and run it on your Tradetron account. And the best part is that even on the free plan of Tradetron, you get to deploy one strategy on paper trading completely free of cost. So once you duplicate, you can test this strategy out at no risk, no cost using your Tradetron account. So let's now get into the build of the strategy. So like you can see, I have the strategy created. We'll go to edit, and in edit, we will now look at what are the logics that are built out here. Now in this strategy, I can see that I have two sets. Why do I have two sets? Set 1 is for my long straddle that I'm going to take, and my set 2 is for my short straddle that I'm going to take. In both of these, I'm looking at selling one call option like you can see out here, buying one call option for my long trades, and I'm looking at buying one put option at the same time for my long straddle as well. Now same thing in my set 2, I am basically selling a ATM call, and I'm selling an ATM put for my strategy. Now what are the entry exit conditions that I'm using? Now the entry exit conditions are basically the most important part of the strategy. In here, I have built a condition builder. Now in the condition builder, I can see that there are certain things which are added out here, right? Now two things out here, one is time and the other is position detail. This helps me control the number of open positions. But the most important part that we are seeing out here is basically this particular condition that I've built. Now let's understand this condition a little bit more in detail. When we look at this condition, I can see that I have first used the keyword of position, right? Now this position keyword is there so that I can select my technical indicator, which in our case is close, and the second technical indicator that I'm looking at is Supertrend. So I'm comparing the close values and Supertrend values as per the logic of the strategy. Now, how am I getting the combined premium of the close and combined premium of the and based on the close, how am I getting the combined premium of the Supertrend value, right? Now, what I'm doing is that when I select close, in my close, when I click on the close indicator, I am going to by default be able to get nothing out here, right? When I come here and I select my keyword as OHLC sum, this is going to be able to allow me to make the sum of two different instruments that I like of my choice. So I have now selected OHLC sum as my keyword out here. When I select OHLC sum, I am going to get three different parameters that I can input. I can input the instrument name, I can input the other instrument name who I need to sum, and I input the candle at which I'm looking at. So since I'm looking at a 5-minute candle, I'll look at 5 minutes. You can change it to whatever you like. And I'm looking at two different instruments. Now, which instruments am I looking at? In the instrument name, I'm looking at the NFO Nifty 50 current week expiry call option of ATM. So using this, I'm defining my call option, and using the second instrument name, I'm defining my put option. So what is happening out here is that this OHLC sum is making a sum of 100 rupees as the close price of the last 5-minute candle of my call, 125 rupees of the close price of the put, and summing the two of them to get me a value of 225. And now I'm comparing this 225 value with my Supertrend. So again, in my Supertrend, I've used the same indicator. So I've used the same thing. Instead of using a regular candle, I'm using a candle called OHLC sum. And using this OHLC sum, I'm able to get the summed value of the call premium and the put premium, and on the combined premium, which is on 225, I'm now running a Supertrend, which is going to give me the desired output as needed, right? Now, what I'm doing, since I have a long straddle, I want to take an entry when, let's say, this Supertrend is green. So whenever it is green, I am basically checking. So what I can see is that if let's say my close is more than if close is greater than my Supertrend value, in that case I am basically taking my long trade, which is defined in my entry, and I will want to exit this trade whenever it goes below the combined premium value. So now in my exit, I'm checking the exact opposite. So if my Supertrend is more than my close, which means that if my Supertrend is here and my close is here, this means that Supertrend is red. In that case, I am exiting. Now this exact same process is being followed for my set 2. In my set 2, I'm again checking the same things, time and position detail, using which I will make sure that I have only a long or short straddle at a time. And then I am using the same mechanism, but in the other way around. So my set 1's exit is basically the set 2's entry. So I am basically always in the trade, whether it is long or whether it is short, right? And with this, I'm able to take my short straddle based trade. And finally, I have my universal exit condition. Now this universal exit condition is basically going to give me the option to have a target and a stop loss. So I have added just PNL as 10,000 as my target. But you can always keep changing these numbers as you like. And the second logic that I've added in universal exit is that if today is the expiry day, then I want to square off everything after 3:15. So after 3:15, I'm going to square off everything and so on. So broadly, this is the strategy that I have created. I would encourage you to explore these kind of strategies where we are using combined premiums on different indicators on different instruments. So you can use, let's say, an EMA with a combined premium, or you can use, let's say, some other technical indicator or your favorite technical indicator with the combined premium logic to see what kind of results you're getting. So I hope you like this video. So for more such content, do like, comment and subscribe. It helps us a lot, gives us a better reach. And until the next video, goodbye.